Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, hiring a general contractor for your finances, part 4 of our Wiser Advisor series, and with financial advisor Joe Gleason. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thank you, appreciate being here.
Joe, I love the title of hiring a general contractor. I always think, NFL season's coming up.
Right.
I'm already heading for the preseason game already, gosh. And I'm thinking, we have so many avenues in our life. We have my property casualty insurance. I have an attorney for my will and my state trust. I have my security guy who does all my asset allocation models. I have my insurance guy for my life, my health. I have so many people involved on my financial side, and I don't know if any one consumer can keep track of this. And so I loved your, let's be the quarterback or the general contractor and let me do that. Talk about why this is so important.
Well, the reason why I think that's important is that you've got all those areas that you just listed. You've got the law side, the tax side, all the insurances. You've got your long-term savings, short-term savings, college planning. There's all these areas that weave into our financial picture. And most of us aren't taught these things in school. We have some basic understanding here and there, but a lot of it's very intimidating for the average consumer.
Joe, does it blow your mind that we are the strongest economy in the world? We teach math at a level that most people come here to the United States to learn physics and math chaos and all this stuff, and we don't have one financial educational course in high school or college required.
That's another whole show in and of itself, right? Like that there is definitely an argument that we should have more, even just what I call common sense financial planning. But because there isn't that type of education, most of us don't have that kind of background. It's very intimidating. So there's all these different professionals. There's no real way to know for the average consumer who to turn to or when to use this professional or that professional. And so in our practice and with our firm, that's the service that we offer, is that we help with money management, investments, insurances, and some of those things. But we also can bring in the professionals like the attorneys and tax professionals and know when to get the help and that advisement, so that when it's all said and done, that the consumer, the client, has a well-oiled financial plan.
Okay, so and I have to say on this show, and I've been on it 6 years now, 1,800 shows later, I have advisors come in here and they are not wanting to pull themselves out as a general contractor or as a quarterback of their clients' financial concerns. So I think it's huge. I think this is where the model's got to go. I'm a consumer. Everybody watching our show is a consumer. Joe, they just want to come to one guy. Tell me who the PC guy is going to be, property casualty, my attorney I get for my will and my trust. Can you help me do that? I know you don't do it, but can you help outsource that, and can you watch over it?
Yeah, and that's really the important aspect of it, is that I'm not an expert in all areas, but I have relationships from my near 20 years in this industry of knowing when to use different professionals and when not to, and having that teamwork. You talk about a quarterback. The quarterback can't go play the game by himself. He's got to have wide receivers and guys that block up front, and the running back, the tight ends. And so really that's how I look at it from the financial standpoint. I'm a fiduciary, so I have to act in the best interest of my clients and the consumers. And so if I identify an area where they need help and it's not my expertise, I feel it's my responsibility, and it is my responsibility to make sure that they get the proper advice so that they have that peace of mind.
So are you vetting guys like this then? So if you're going to collect a team that does all these various areas that you outsource to, right?
Yeah.
You're vetting these guys?
Yeah, and that's part of our, and so a lot of it's relationships. You meet them, we do networking, we meet them through different channels, but there's also different licensing and being in the industry and being an insider. You know the people who are just the part-time person that's just kind of got the license and doing it on the side versus the true professional. And we want to work with those folks, because the professionals, the dedicated long-term in the industry, because it's a reflection upon me. If I refer someone to a property and casualty agency and they don't do a good job, well, that makes me look bad. The client loses, and so it's just not a win anywhere. So vetting is important, and we do make sure that we're working with qualified professionals that are properly licensed, et cetera.
Okay, so if I'm just a regular client watching today, and I come into your office and said, I saw the show, Joe, I want to do this, I like the idea of coming to you, and you're going to herd all these other financial fiduciaries together, and you're going to make the call on, you'll see what I need, and you'll go out and outsource that, and you're going to run that. right? I don't have to worry about that.
Well, we have a process. So with our process, step one is me getting to know the clients, find out if we're a fit, and then we go through different stages where we identify the needs. Some clients might need more tax help than others. Some folks might need more law or attorney help than others. And so it really just depends on what the specific needs are of the individual.
Now, Joe, I heard you're one of the few guys I've ever heard that says, well, to find out, my first meeting is really to find out if we're a fit. Sometimes you look at clients and say, I'm sorry, they're not a fit for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's from a couple different areas. If there's an area where I don't feel that my professional team is a fit, but it also might just be a personality thing. Not everyone's going to resonate with everyone. And so we encourage the folks that we meet with to go have interviews with a couple different financial professionals because to me, I look at this as not a quick sale in the door, out you go, but more a long-term relationship. And so if I'm going to have this long-term relationship with someone, we're going to do the work and go through this year after year with our annual reviews and make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I want to work with someone that I enjoy working with. So, and that should be the case for the consumer and the client as well.
Well, I noticed in your resume, you got a nice little media package here. I mean, you've been on Good Morning America or Good Morning Arizona on Channel 3, Fox, CBS, ABC. And here's the one that caught my eye, though. You co-authored a book with my good friend Jack Canfield.
Yeah, that was a great experience. Yeah.
Talk about that.
It's a long story, but it basically boils down to it's who you know, and I have some great relationships and had an opportunity to co-author a book with Jack. There were several professionals when it came to financial health, and we authored the book called Soul Success. So basically what that entailed was being able to put together a chapter and how I felt what on the financial aspect, what being successful meant. And so we talked about basically just having things that you enjoy doing. Do you like to travel?
Is it on Amazon.com?
It is, yeah.
All right, so if they like it, what's the name of it again?
Soul of Success. Yep.
On Amazon.com, and you recommend this for your own clients.
I give the book out for people that come in and see me. I give it to them as a gift for coming in. But absolutely, it's not just me. It's several professionals.
Well, it's kind of like you're doing what you're talking about. You in this book, it isn't your take; it's the take of many professionals.
Yeah, and of course, Jack Canfield. He's the guru. I mean, one of my personal mentors, and love his work as well. So.
Okay, so now when I'm looking for, I love the quarterback idea. I love the general contractor. So I'm a regular guy. I'm watching this show, and I'm going to go out on LinkedIn for the biographical hunt. I'm gonna start stalking like a millennial, right?
Right.
What am I looking for with my head of my financial concern? Because you're talking about the general contractor.
Correct. Yeah, and really, to me, I look for is someone who's a fiduciary. I have my Series 65 license that gives me the fiduciary responsibility. And so different designations give fiduciary responsibility. But to me, that's really, and let me explain that real quick what that means. There's the fiduciary standard, then there's the suitability standard. Fiduciary standard says I have to act in your best interest. I legally have to act in your best interest. Whereas the suitability standard, that might be someone that might be a broker or a banker or something like that. And I'm not disparaging them. It's just a different standard. What that means is that they could say this 30-year bond is suitable, even though that's not what's in your best interest. So it's a deeper dive into what would work for your specific plan.
I'm sorry, just as the regular consumer here, I would go, why wouldn't you be doing the best for my interest?
I agree.
Why do I need a regulation to tell me that?
Yeah. It's sad in this day and age.
But we do, I guess, apparently.
And there's some work with the Department of Labor right now. They're going through, and eventually the standard will be universal across the board. But as we sit here today, that's not the case for every financial professional.
Now, I noticed that if I'm vetting an advisor, I could go to broker check that out. I could go to the Department of Insurance, check that out to make sure the guy I'm hiring is, not any bad boy issues and behavioral issues. But when you're talking about the registered investment advisor, a wholly different scene. You still have access to everything, but it's more fee-driven than it is commission-driven. Is that my understanding?
Yep, and then we talk about that a lot with our clients, too, when we go through our educational process, and that's a broker mentality versus the fiduciary mentality, and that you're on the same side of the table with the client, that the more money you make, then we make more, versus a commission-based where you could potentially say, thank you for doing business with me, and I get to write off.
Did I just hear you say that your commission or your comp, your fee, is tied to performance? So It could be if the market has a problem, you might have a problem.
Right, and we have it's fee based. So if the market if the market goes down, portfolio goes down, we get a smaller amount since it's a percentage of the portfolio. And the opposite of that is that if the market goes up, you make more money. It's better for we make more money. It's a win-win. So we really strive for that. We want it to be win-win. We want the long-term relationship, and I want you to be happy because happy clients are fun for me. They refer me more of their friends and family, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just win-win all the way across the board.
I like the concept of hiring a general contractor. I like somebody to be the quarterback. I don't want to have to go to every single one of these places. I want a single shingle shop I can go to and get this done. Listen, don't forget to watch our next segment on what to look for in a financial advisor. More on this whole thing. Part 5 of our Wiser Advisor series. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas on my show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your financial advisor. You've been watching Steve Savant's Money. The name of it is.